In the mix with DJ Rambo Rich.
Welcome to the What's That Music About podcast. I'm your host, DJ Rambo Rich. And in this episode, we're speaking to Macy. So with no further ado, I'll get her to introduce herself and tell us all about her DJing. So to start it off, how are you doing, Macy? I know you're a very busy person with all the festivals that you've been doing. So with no further ado, I'll just get you to introduce yourself, tell them about yourself and what sort of artist you are. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm Macy Lancaster. I'm 21. I'm originally from Preston, but I live in Manchester. I've been DJing for about 7 or 8 years, but only started doing it as a job about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I came here to do music at university and then got into getting gigs through that. So I've been playing at bars across Manchester for 3 years. And then, finally started getting some gigs within the house music scene. And it's just taken off from there.
It certainly has taken off. I mean, the list of things you've played the last year or two is pretty crazy, to be fair. But we'll talk about that later. Anyway, so I think what we're going to do now is go to the first round, which is mixtapes and memories. So 1 second, then we'll be back. Okay, so this is mixtapes and memories, and in mixtapes and memories, we talk about past memories of music and how it got you into music. So to start that off, what's your first memory of music? When I say, okay, what's the first memory? What's the first sort of memory or thing you specifically remember about music as a young person?
Oh, my mum is the one that got me into music. We've always listened to music. She bought a massive, like a Dr. Dre beatbox that sits on our kitchen side. It's way too big for the kitchen, but we've always listened to music on that ever since I was 4 or 5. She took me to my first concert when I was 7. Obviously, back then I was listening to Ollie Murs and Robbie Williams, so not who I'm into now. But just through that, and then started getting into house music because she loves 90s house. And then, when I was 13, 14, that's when we started going to loads of concerts together. That was our pastime. I'd go on a school night. Every night we would go to a concert. My earliest memory, she took me to see Chase and Status when I was 14.
Right,
Unbeknownst to her, she was like, "Oh, it's fine, it'll be chill, it's just Chase and Status." We were at the front, the first song came on, and we were in the middle of a mosh pit. I was 5 foot, 14 years old. She's like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" Had to drag me out, but I loved it. And ever since then, I was like, that is what I want to do.
So how would you say those experiences have influenced you today?
I think they've influenced me loads. I'm more confident because of it. She taught me how to be in these big situations, meeting people. If you met my mum, you would understand, she can get where water can't. If she sees the person that's just come off stage, she'll be like, "We're getting backstage." So she'll drag me, she'll talk away into it. So we've met so many people through that. And I think just her being like that has made me be like that, out there. Put yourself out there. She's always been like, "No, do what you want. Don't fit in. Don't try and follow the crowd. Just do what you want to do." And especially when I moved to Manchester and found my people, met all these people in music, met the community of DJs they've got in Manchester. That's when I really came into my own. So I think that's definitely helped. Yeah.
I love that answer, and I love how your mum is still in the mix. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. No, she came to Ibiza with me twice last year. She's proper hardcore raver.
I love that. So, what? This is a hard one as well. So, what was the first music, if you can remember, or it doesn't have to be the first, but what is the first sort of piece of music you remember buying?
Ooh. Do you know what? It's going to have to be Rudimental, their first album, We the Generation, which is random because that's more I guess that's liquid drum and bass, reggae influences, which I don't play, but Rudimental I've always been obsessed with. It was always Rudimental, Gorgon City and Disclosure. They're my top 3 artists, I think.
That's a good mixture there.
Yeah. So definitely those 3, I'd say. I mean, my music changes all the time. When I'm not DJing, I normally listen to like indie bands, so it's really
Right.
hard to say.
I know what you
Like,
mean.
I love Fontaine's DC, Easy Life, like Pigeon Detectives, like old 2000s indie. So
I know what you
it's a
mean.
massive
Like,
mixture.
it's crazy, isn't it? Like, I like the band Block Party, for
Yeah, yeah.
example. Yeah, like I don't know, but also I'm a big fan of musical theatre, and
Oh,
sometimes
I
I feel
love
like
musical theatre.
Sometimes I feel
Yeah,
like because of that I bring it into my DJ set. So I totally get what you're saying there. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I think it's good as DJs not to just listen to the music you play. I think it's great. What was the first experience of performing music, and when did you realise this is what I want to do?
So my mum bought me my first set of decks when I was 11. They were like tiny, like DDJ 200s or something. Like you needed your phone to control
Yeah,
them. So I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was just messing about on it. And then it was during high school, I was deciding what I wanted to do for my GCSEs. And I was speaking to my music teacher. I have no music theory background. Like, I don't
yeah,
play any other instruments. Like, I can
yeah,
just about get about on the piano. But I was like, I really want to like be in the music industry, but a DJ. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, you can do that as your instrument then. And I'd never
yeah,
heard of it before, but he was like, no, we can make it work. Like, I'll teach myself how to DJ and then I can just grade you on it. So me and my teacher from high school basically taught each other how to DJ. And then I performed it as my music GCSE. So that was like amazing. I don't think if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have got into it. So yeah, very grateful to him. But at the time, I think people thought it was weird. You know what high school kids are like. Like if you told them,
yeah,
"Oh, I'm a DJ," they're like, "What?" At 14,
yeah,
no, you're not. Like laughing
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So I like hid it away for ages. I didn't want people to know. I would quickly run in with my decks like before school so that no one saw. But if I could, that's the one thing I regret. Like if I knew then what I know now, I would like be open about it. Be getting it on social media because it's fun, isn't it? Like who cares what you do?
But
So
also to say to the high school kids, like, back then, I mean, I think I'm just looking at the list of things I've wrote on my piece of paper and my research of each guest, and like any DJ I know would love to have the list of things you've done in the local area. I'm not saying this just because you're on, and I'm not saying it to be nice, but I'm being serious. Like, the list of like festivals and things you've played. Like so you should be really proud of
yeah,
yourself.
thank you.
Especially you mean like a Northwest person. I mean, I'm making the change now with this podcast to have an 80-20 split, and the 80% Lancashire and Northwest like music
Nice.
people, and like you were one of the top people on my list to get because of like how well you're representing this region.
Yeah,
So definitely, like you should be so proud of yourself. Like
yeah, thank you.
definitely. I think though, as DJs, we just move on to the next thing. You just want the next. You do that thing, and you
Yeah,
never
it's
have to.
hard. Yeah,
And there's no real breathing space between them. You just on to the next thing, and then you
yeah,
look back after the year and you think, God, look at all that we've done. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's the end of that round. So we're going to move on to the second round, which is on repeat. So 1 second, and we'll be back. Okay, so this is on repeat, and it's about what you're currently doing now. So to start that off, what's the biggest daily challenge you face with music?
Definitely comparing myself to other people. That's a big thing. I feel
Right.
like every DJ does it. Like you sit there and you're like, oh, I've got this coming up, but that person has done all of this already. Like, why am I not
Yeah.
there? So I do struggle with that. But like you said, you need to take that time to think, oh, I've actually done quite a lot in the space of like what I've done so far. So, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard to try and balance everything. Do you know what I mean? And try and actually see how far you've come and the steps you're taking. But yeah, I am a perfectionist, so I'm constantly like, no, I could be doing better. I could be doing better. So yeah.
I mean, one thing I do with some of the DJs I speak to, call each other every now and again and just check on
Yeah.
how each of it are, because it is a lot of late nights in dark rooms,
Yeah.
and you can just it can get a bit too much at times.
You definitely do need friends in this industry just to keep
Yeah,
you going.
definitely,
Yeah.
and that's it's quite isolating. And I do feel like now I actually, first time in my life, can genuinely say, and without shadow of a doubt, that I've actually got friends, which
Yeah.
is really nice. So what are you currently working on?
I'm trying to push my production at the moment. I've just
Yeah,
released a track on SoundCloud, which is doing all right.
yeah,
I I'm just trying to get more songs out. I want to have at least 2 more releases by the end of the year. It's quite a slow process.
yeah,
I've got all the ideas, but I'm just trying to like get them out onto a screen. So yeah, 2 more releases I'm hoping for this year. I've got a few labels that, you know, are circling, so I'm hoping to get some
yeah.
releases on a
I,
label.
I, I mean, I can see that happening, and I'm not saying it to be nice. I always say be clear when I'm talking to people. I'm not saying it to be nice. I could easily see that happening. I think, I totally get what you're saying, but I can totally get where you're coming from. Like, it if it's something that, like, obviously you're clearly good at it because I've listened to the tracks you've made. Some of them they're very housey, aren't they? The ones I've listened
Yeah.
to, and I was like, oh, as soon as I was listening to it, it must be the DJ in me. I was like, oh, I know what track I could mix this with to. You know, in my little head, I was like hearing the other track coming in, blending it. So
Oh,
I
good.
totally,
No,
I can.
that's. I'm glad you've said that. Yeah.
So for you, what does daily success look like?
Oh,
Because
that's a good question.
most people ask what does success look like, but I've sort of
Yeah.
started to narrow it down to daily success,
Yeah.
about the 5 or the 4 or how many things it might be that makes me go, oh, well, that was a successful day because I've got further than I was.
Yeah.
So how do you like sort of define success daily? And you think, oh, I've done what I needed to do there. That's a
Yeah.
good day.
I write a to-do list for everything. Like, I am
That's
an
a
organised freak, so
yeah.
I've got pages and pages of to-do lists, but I always I'm trying to be on top of my social media. Like, I've made a full-on post schedule, TikTok
Mm,
schedule, and I've actually noticed it working, like consistent
yeah.
posting. Like, I've been researching what does well. Like, I've proper took the time to like plan it all out, and I'm starting to see like the positive effects of it. So I'm glad that that's working. So I think if I do like a post a day of TikTok or post something on my stories or plan a few Instagram posts, like I know that I've done something, to help me progress. I always try and do a bit of production a day, even if it's like 20 minutes, just messing around with bass lines or
Yeah.
finding drum samples and stuff. But yeah, that's mainly it. And I've got a few gigs coming up, so I always like to find new tracks for my sets and
Yeah,
stuff.
just something a bit fresh. Yeah.
As long as I do a little bit of music a day, I'm happy. But I'm currently working in hospitality still, so
Yeah.
that is hard because if I had a 9 to 5, at least that would be like a set shift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
my
I've got a 9 to
waitressing,
5. Yeah. Yeah.
with my waitressing, it's like no shift is the same. So some Saturdays I do like 7 till 3 waitressing, and then I go on to like 7 till 1 a.m. DJing, and then I'm back in
God.
at the restaurant at 8 a.m. on Sunday. So
Oh my
like my
God.
weekends are
Yeah.
just wiped out. So it's hard to balance it. But yeah, a little bit a day I'm happy with. And
I
obviously
love that.
some days you get more done, don't you? If
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get more motivation. But
I
as long
think.
as
I
it's
think
on the
it.
to-do list, I'll do it.
I think it comes down to how much you burn the candle at both ends. I think we're going to move on to the next round, which is discography. So 1 second, then we'll be back with that. Okay, so this is discography, where we talk about today's guest music, Macy. So the tracks I listened to of yours were In the House and About Last Night. So could you tell us about them? So we'll start with In the House. I think that's the latest one.
Yeah. So to be fair, this is the first track that I'm like, I really am happy with, and I know that that's kind of the sound and direction that I want to take my music in. I have released stuff in the past, but it's just been like something I've done for uni, and I've decided to release it. Like nothing, I guess, serious. But yeah, this one, I found a sample that I really liked, and I knew the kind of direction I wanted to take it in. So yeah, and I got it fully like professionally mixed, mastered. So yeah, I'm happy with it, and that's kind of where I want to go next with the rest of my tracks. I think I get influences from 90s house, which is where like the 90s synths come from in the house,
Yeah.
mixed with like my love for like up and coming tech house music. So I like that blend of sounds. So yeah, I'm happy with it, and it's done well on SoundCloud. To be fair, I'm nearly at 1,000 plays, which will be my first 1,000 plays. So yeah,
I love that. I love the little things like that. It might not mean much to anyone else, but when you get there and you see it on your little screen, you're like, oh my God. It's like the podcast I've been listened to in 14 different countries. Now, it doesn't mean a lot, but to me, like...
That's good, yeah.
Someone in Saudi Arabia is listening to a Lancashire lad talk about music. That is mental. That is crazy. So if that guy's listening, or girl, or woman, or whatever it may be, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. But no, like I say, you were saying there, like you get into that with your track, your latest track is great. You know, I mean, that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
I really like In the House. So tell us about last night. I had to say it twice there, but
I did that one whilst I was in Ibiza with my boyfriend actually. So he also does music. I met him at uni, so he does like hip hop recording and stuff. So we've always wanted to make a track together, so we thought we'd kind of blend the two. So he found an old hip hop sample vocal, and then we did like the house, like bass and drums with it. But I wanted something to play that was like people would know the sample, but it's my own edit of it for Ibiza.
Yeah.
Because whilst I was at Ibiza Rocks, like you had to play like commercial house music basically. Anything that people would know, that's what you had to play. So I wanted to have something of my own that I could play out and that people would like hopefully listen to on SoundCloud and stuff. So yeah, it worked and I enjoyed playing it out. But yeah.
That's cool. So so which do you prefer currently at the moment? Is it the DJing? Is it the production? Or do you feel like there isn't a split, that it's just all one connected thing?
I do prefer DJing, I'm not going to lie. But I think that's just because I'm still learning the production. Like, I've noticed that I'm starting to, like, understand the production a bit more, so I am enjoying it more and more. And I think once I get to that point where I can just, like, whip tracks out left, right and centre, I can understand why people love it more than DJing. But I just love the feeling of performing, like the adrenaline, the leading up to it, and just being able to, like, you know, read a crowd and like control them basically. I love like taking people on a journey with my sets. I think that's the right way to put it. Yeah,
it's funny you say about like people whipping tracks out, because like there is some people I see on social media and they never stop releasing music, and I think like, how are you doing this? I'm impressed, but how are you doing this? What magic like trick are you pulling? Like what how do you like fit all this in? Like, you know, like I'm in awe of them basically. But no, it's great. So so I'm going to ask this now. So what is your favorite type of music to DJ? Or do you not? Or do you like to mix it up a bit? I don't know. I just thought I'd ask.
No, it's always house music for me. I play a bit of garage, bit of disco, but I always love playing house. I think that'll always be my number one like genre. But I kind of mix between the sub-genres of house in my sets. I never really stick with one. I like throwing, you know, curveballs into my set to see if the crowd will like them.
I know what you mean, like, because sometimes I like to, if it's feeling a bit, you know, sometimes the energy, you look at the crowd and you feel like, okay, we need to get something to get them engaged here a little bit with the music. You just Okay, look for your list of tracks, scrolling
Yeah.
up. Right, okay, this is the one that's going to set the mood.
Exactly, yeah.
Put it in. I always love that moment before you sort of like drop the song in and you can see the energy is in a different place. And
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready. And then you do it and then you put the faders up and everything and you blend it in and you're like, suddenly the room is like a different situation. It's great. I think what we're going to do now is move on to the last round, which is Dream Big. So 1 second and we'll be back with that. Okay, so this is Dream Big. And in Dream Big, we talk about the future and what are your aspirations for the future. But before we do that, I just want to talk about some of the places you've played, because it's impressive. So we're going to start, obviously, because Preston lad here. Preston Weekender. How was that? Because there was you, Mark Freejack.
Oh, it was so good. So the guy that booked me, he didn't tell me who the headliner was.
Right.
I'm quite good friends with him, so he was like, "No, I'm going to keep it a surprise, keep it a surprise." I was like, "Please tell me, like I want to know." And he's close friends with my mum as well, so my mum was like freaking out, like guessing all these people, and he was like, "Oh no, it's like we couldn't get them this year, sorry." But then he was lying the whole time, and it was Pete Tong. So when we found out it got released at 8 a.m. the lineup, my mum rang me. She was like, "Oh my God, it's Pete Tong!" Like she was crying down the phone because that's her hero as well. So I was so shocked. But Sam Divine for me is like my ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Like I love her. So I was, to be honest, I was more excited for Sam Divine. I'm obsessed with her. I think she's incredible, especially as like a female DJ.
Yeah. I totally get you
they call her the First Lady of House. Like so, she hasn't got a name for no reason. So I was so excited, and just the whole day was amazing. Obviously, because it was in Preston, I had like 30 people. A big entourage like come down to watch me play.
I know,
So it felt really good. Yeah, I loved it, and I got to meet them both, which was mad. Yeah,
I thought it was a good night, and I was so happy that the weather was nice. It wasn't too warm, but it wasn't too cold. It was really good. Crazy. I mean, Mark Freejack's done an episode of this series, and he was saying about how like Pete Tong was his hero as well, and he's DJing, and then he looks to the left, and Pete Tong's watching him DJ, and he felt he just had a little wobble for a second, just because like, oh my God, what is my life right now?
Yeah.
He's basically saying. I don't want to speak for him, but what you'll have to listen to it when I put it up, but like it made me realize that like how far this can take you if it goes right for you, how far
definitely.
it can take you. It's crazy. That's amazing as it is, but also you've played at Ibiza Rocks, if I'm correct here. So what was that like?
Yeah, that was that was mad. They did a Instagram competition, so that was in December 23. It was like post a 60-second clip of you trying to get as many Ibiza Rocks artists in a mix as possible. So I did it on the last day of the competition, obviously not thinking anything of it. And then I got picked to be in the top 9, which was crazy. Like I wouldn't have expected that. And then I had to send in like 2 more mixes, and then they posted on Instagram and did like a tag your favourite kind of thing. And 4 of us won it, and I was one of the 4. So I would have never have dreamed to have been playing in Ibiza in like my second year of DJing. So I was really lucky to get that opportunity. And I moved out there for 5 weeks. They put me up in the hotel. I was supposed to play like 3 or 4 days a week, but because it was the closing parties, I managed to do like almost 7 days a week. I got to play for Love Juice as well, supported Rinse FM and Georgia Smith. It was just mad.
I love Georgia Smith.
She was incredible.
I don't have many. I've cut my vinyl collection down, but the first album I think it was with Blue Lights on, I kept that vinyl.
That is a tune. That is
So but I mean, like this is. I mean, you must be pinching yourself. Like
it was crazy. Yeah. Just to be there and just to see how it all goes on. I met some amazing people. Ibiza Rocks, the staff there are just the nicest people ever. Like, you could not say one bad thing about them. They looked after me so much. And the resident DJ there, Patrick Nazemi, he's just incredible. Like, proper took me under his wing. So I learnt a lot. I did really learn a lot. And I got to go to all these big clubs, like backstage. The first night that I was there, I went to Amnesia with Pat, and my mum came with me. So we managed to. Yeah, she's
coming.
always there.
Mum's coming too.
She's always in every story that I've got. We were behind the decks, like watching Pat play, and then we were like, "Oh, I wonder who's like playing next." Like thinking, "Oh, we'll just go into the crowd or something, like have a few drinks." And Sammy Vergy just appeared, and like I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm watching Sammy Vergy." And he let us stay behind the decks, so we watched him play from behind the booth for his full set, and it was just absolutely mind blowing. Like that is up there with one of my favourite moments because he is incredible.
I mean, if it, like whenever I see like let's say a mainstream DJ, I'm always like, if I see videos and stuff, I'm always trying to like zoom in on the screen and see like the CDJ screen and like where are they putting their like cue points and okay, what is he doing with the mixer? And I'm like, if I was there, I'd be like, that's what I'd be watching.
Having a look at his IDs, yeah.
I was like, what is he doing there? I mean, not to steal stuff, just to see what is unique to him, because everyone's unique, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy. And then the weekend just gone, Preston Live. How was that?
Do you know what? That was so fun. I only got asked to do it like a few weeks before. So it was quite last minute, but I loved it. I can't like all these things that are happening in Preston. It's so good for us because obviously before this we didn't really have anything. Like people think of Preston and they don't think of much, do they? So
I know, yeah. I'm glad
that I'm glad that these people are actually doing something to kind of put us on the map again, like Preston Weekender, Preston Live. But yeah, the dance tent was great. All the guys were lovely that was setting it up. I got to see Jason Marks. I love Jason. He did amazing as well.
So much for the Preston.
Yeah, he is.
Him, Emma as well. You know, with Our House, Your House. Like, I mean, I do feel like they've started a revolution.
Yeah, no, they have.
Revolution.
Yeah. No, Jason is what he's doing for Preston, and he just loves it so much. Like, he proper represents Preston, and he loves what it stands for. So I love that for him. Like, yeah, I really appreciate what he's doing. He's smashing it.
And you were saying that Sam Divine, you represents women. Now, obviously, there's a big movement now, especially like in Manchester, that I know of a lot of like women's only events with like that event Mixer. So, like, how do you see that going forwards? And like, for you as a woman, like, how does it make you feel that we're starting to like get representation and stuff? Because obviously, it can be tricky being a woman in the nightlife environment. So I want to make sure I ask this question because I'm an uncle and I've got nephew and nieces, and I feel like as an uncle I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't ask this question.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, of course, yeah. No, I think it's really good. You definitely started to see more like females on lineups, and there's a lot more up and coming female DJs that are doing really well. Like Alaya Jaya, is that how you say her name? Evie, Kate, like there's Alexandria, she plays for You and Me, Josh Baker's label. There's so many that are like actually getting a secure spot on lineups. Obviously Alicia, she's smashing it. So it's definitely good to see, and there's now more like even lineups where it's even male DJs to female DJs.
Yeah.
So that is good, but I think on a local level, it's still not right. I don't know. I think it's because a lot of them are young promoters for events. They always just book their mates, and it's like all their mates are guys, and it's like, oh, we'll put you on because we need one female DJ in the lineup just to have that tick box. You know what I mean? Just to say, we're trying to be diverse, but we're just doing it just so people don't cancel us, basically. And I think it was apparent in Manchester, especially on International Women's Day last year. There was so many all-women lineups. Like I did one for Mixer as well, but so many events did an International Women's Day event, but half the people on the lineup were guys. So
Right.
it
I
didn't
remember
make
seeing
any sense.
I remember seeing something on social media about this, and I thought,
Yeah.
goodness me, like
So yeah.
the name's in the title, really, isn't
Yeah, well, yeah,
it?
you'd think for one day a year they could at least just try and get a
yeah,
full, because there's loads of us. Like, I'm in so many group chats that are all female, like producers and stuff. There's like
yeah,
300 of us at least, so that you can find us. Like, it's not
yeah.
hard, and a lot of
No.
we're all smashing it. Like, we're all doing well, and I think on the one hand, it is good to be a woman in the music industry because you stand out more. Like, if people see you in a lineup of people and you're the only woman, you are going to get noticed more. But I think it's just the fact that people underestimate us still, I guess. Like, I did an event a few weeks ago, and when I first went on, the crowd was like, just went like, because they're
Oh
like, oh,
gosh,
yeah, and I was like,
that's crazy.
okay. And then like 2 songs in, they were like, "What? Oh my god, you're actually so good!" And like, why did you expect me to not be good? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy that they say the word
yeah,
actually. Like,
yeah,
actually,
that's the part that
yeah,
annoys me. You're actually quite
crazy.
good for a girl, like. And then the whole crowd was pumping until like the end, like 2 hour set. I absolutely smashed it, and they're like, "Oh my god, that was the best set." It's like, yeah, but you underestimated me. So I think that's the part that's frustrating for a lot of women. Like, it's just the constant underestimation of us, I guess. Yeah.
We did actually move on to Dream Big, so we'll actually go into that. But this is the reason I said spoke to you about all this is because, like, for you, it's one of the first guests I've had where, apart from probably Mark Jack, to like ambitions and dreams in the future, we all have them. But like, the list is, I don't want to speak for you, but the list is the tick list is pretty good, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? So I'm really interested to find out. So what are what's the biggest ambitions for the future then?
I mean, like I said before, I am a perfectionist. So even though I know I've done all these things, in my head it's like, no, I can still do like 10 times more, 10 times better. So I think I'll always push myself, which obviously is a good thing. I think that's what's going to help me succeed. But also, I do need to give myself a pat on the back sometimes, I think, because I am a stress head. But my dream is to be able to travel and DJ, like play all these big events literally everywhere, Bali, Spain, Italy, all around Europe, America. And I want to be able to play in Ibiza every year, you know, like maybe have my own residency, hopefully one day. And I think the main thing that's going to help me do that is my production, which is why I'm trying to focus on that, because I think nowadays you're not going to get big if you don't have songs that people can like connect you to. Like, especially in Ibiza right now, obviously Jamie Jones with Paradise, like he's smashing it. East End dubs with EastEnders, his event. People know him from his music, and that's why he's got his residency at Amnesia. So just things like that. And these guys have only been up and coming for like the past 5 and 6 years, I think. So that's my dream. That is my dream. Yeah.
So this is a hard question, just to warn you. So who you're saying about production and your DJing? So who are the dream artists that you'd like to collaborate, and why? Now this is hard because it depends on what I've listened to that week or what event I've been to. So it changes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always I call him the Northern Star, Pete Tong. That's a given.
Yeah.
For me. But you know, like there's always one for me that always stays the same. But then other people, it changes depending on what I listen to. So I'll give you a sec to think. But like when I say that, who comes to mind?
My top 3 that I would either want to do a back-to-back with or collaborate with is Sarah Story. She does the Future Dance on Radio 1. I absolutely love her. I love her music. I'd love to release on her label one day. She's got Stories Recordings, that's her label. And it's like proper house music, like feel-good house music. I'd love to get a release on there. Ariel Free, love her. And then obviously Sam Divine. I think those are my top 3.
Sam
to be
Divine.
able to, even just to do a back-to-back with them, like, Sam Divine.
Sorry, I was getting excited there. I can say it. You were saying anyway. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, yeah, just to even be able to just do a back to back with them or meet them and like pick their brains. When I met Sam Divine actually at Preston Weekender, she was the loveliest person
Yeah.
I've ever met. Like I was saying about egos, there was no ego, there was no expectations. She gave me the biggest hug. We just chatted about life. Like she asked me what I had done. Like she was giving me advice on how to, get to the next step. She was with her mates who were equally as lovely. Like she was just the most down to earth person ever, and I that made me love her even more because I think she's done all this, but she still has the time of day to help me and give me some advice.
Yeah.
So yeah, those three for me, I would love to just be in the same room with. Pick their brains about how they've got to where they have. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. I love that you said friends were even nice, and that is what we were saying before about having friends.
Yeah.
It's good to have friends from the beginning that you take with you that are loyal and good.
Yeah.
Because you can, when they come along on a journey with you, like it's great that our friends were nice as well. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably nothing worse than if you turned up there and she didn't want to speak to you, and her friends are like, "Who's this person?" And that'd be horrible. That'd be like so upsetting. So the fact that you say that and like it's all good is great. And now this question, it's the first time I've actually looked at the question and thought, do you know what? She's she's already done quite a lot of this. So, but there's one thing I've learning with interviewing you is the levels are different for different people. I feel like there's always something more to sort of try and achieve. So it'll be interesting to see what you say. So, what are the dream festivals or concerts or a specific venue you would like to play? Say if they rang you up today and said, "Look, you've got the gig, just name where it is." Where would it be?
Okay, I've got a lot.
So what's
in
the
Manchester.
top one then?
So
Yeah.
Top one. Oh God. Amnesia in Ibiza.
Right. So you were saying in Manchester.
In Manchester, I want to play at Joshua Brooks. I want to do a basement, like even if it's a warm-up set for anyone, I don't care. I want to do it. And obviously they've just done that resident DJ competition that they're looking for.
I did see that, yeah.
So I've obviously applied.
Well,
but that would be a dream. That would be, to have a residency at such a renowned venue, especially in Manchester. I would love that. But outside of Manchester, there's too many to even think. Obviously, everywhere in Ibiza, I would love to play. Lab 54, that's a big one.
For me, like
there's too many. There's too many to say.
The top one for me is Ministry of Sound London, just because I'm a 90s kid and I grew up on I've got loads of them here. I'm trying to collect them all. Got a lot of the compilations.
Yes.
Like that's what I grew up on as a kid. So for me, it's Ministry Sound. But like I love what you said there. But I think Josh, and I'm not saying this to be nice, I could easily see Joshua Brooks. That could happen. Definitely.
I hope so. One day.
That easily. I think Joshua Brooks would be silly not to make it happen. So when they see, Joshua Brooks, when you see this, Macy,
please
get it sorted, guys.
I'll be good, I promise.
In the kindest way possible, get it sorted. No, but I do like Joshua Brooks. I've only ever been there for our house, your house, Emma event in Manchester. But I did think I wonder like a full because there was like 40 to 50 people in there, but I imagine it like packed and the bar wasn't
when
operating.
It's pumping.
I can imagine. So but definitely that is something that definitely. So final question. Is there any other dreams or aspirations? So like for me, I want to make one of my biggest dreams, because I grew up on watching James Bond films, would make like a dance version of like a soundtrack to the name title of a James Bond film. So like, but I make it.
Speaking of, I actually finished Daniel Craig's James Bonds last night. I've been watching one a night because I've never watched them before.
Yeah,
they're good.
I'm not afraid to say that the last one I was crying, like, you know, like.
Oh my god, yeah, yeah,
Like, I was
same.
like, no, it can't. If you've not watched it, you know, guys, you should have watched it by now. But you've
Yeah.
watched it, basically, so it's all right. But no, yeah. So that's like another aspiration I'd like to achieve. You know, like, yeah. So it's part of the reason why I'm starting learning the
Yeah,
scales on the piano, because
yeah, that's
you've got to
cool.
start the journey somewhere. You know, it's a
Yeah,
little step.
exactly.
Like, it's like a 1% of the journey. But yeah. So for you, is there any other aspirations that are like? So you wouldn't sort of expect, or you think, you know, that'd be cool one day.
Yeah, this is completely off topic, but if I wasn't going to do music at uni, I was going to do geography,
Yeah,
because I am a proper planet freedom fighter, like
yeah,
conservation, animals, all of that. And that is what I wanted to do as a job if it wasn't DJing.
yeah,
So if I got to the platform one day that I could do something like that, I would
yeah.
love to do something in conservation. I know that's really random, but
No, but it's good.
yeah.
I love that answer. So I'm just going to say thanks so much for coming on the podcast. I think we're going to wrap things up there. So first of all, what platforms can we find your content on?
I am on Instagram, TikTok, and SoundCloud, and it's all just at Macy Lancaster.
Perfect. So,
Yeah.
and that's great. I want to just say thanks so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to say keep on doing what you're doing. The sky's not even a limit. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not even the limit.
I
People
hope
say
so.
the sky's a limit. No, the sky's not a limit. You know what I mean? Yeah, anything you've got that you want to like promote or anything, just send it over to the Instagram for the podcast, and I'll share it. Because the thing I'm starting now, and any other guests or people that have got stuff, send it over to me, and I want it to be a place that people send stuff, because I want to make a community of people that are passionate about music, want to just help people, you know, just genuinely nice, and you know, and if it's another place where we can send things and it gets seen by people, then I'm all for that, you know. So definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
But Macy, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it, and speak to you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In the mix with DJ Rambo Rich.